Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced, and I want to go over events in the DOM. So basically, here we have an HTML file. Let me actually open the thing. Here we go. And basically, if you want to do events, like you want to actually have a function run when someone clicks on a button in your HTML, basically you just use this onClick property, and you would just put in the function name, like that. And you would just define the function in your JavaScript. So here I defined a function. Right now, this function, just go back to, says hello, save, and these are referred to as handlers. So whenever you create a function to handle an event, it's called a handler, an event handler. Okay, so basically JavaScript is always listening for events. It's looking to see if certain things happen. The event listener is the thing that's looking for the trigger, and then the handler is a thing that happens when the listener hears the trigger. Okay, so save, and let's go back over here. I refresh. So when I click this button, it's going to run that function. See, hello, 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 hello. You see it right down here in the console. And the reason it does that is because in my index.html, again, I said when you click on this button, my handler runs. That's great. A little limited on what you can do with that. There's a whole bunch of different events you can do. So let's say we wanted to do some more cool stuff. Or let's say I want to like do this using all in the JS. So I want to sign the event listener, all this stuff in the JS. So then I would do something like this. I would do, if I'm using just plain vanilla DOM manipulation, it would be document dot query selector, and we want to select the button. And there's only one button, so it's going to get that one button. And then we're going to add event listener. Okay, and then I'm pretty sure the first one is the event listener. The on is assumed, so basically we just put in it's the event is click. And when the event click happens, we're going to use my handler to, well, do it. Okay, let's test this out without invoking it, see if it works. Okay, so we're basically saying, hey, on this button, we should click. So let's see here. Refresh. Document query selector is not a function. Oh, QWERTY selector. Oh. Save. Refresh. There, that looks a little bit better. And see, it runs the function. Now what you don't see happening is that it passes in an event object. Whenever you add an event listener from your JavaScript, JavaScript's going to add this event object. So if I type in event here, watch what happens. I never pass anything as an argument into my handler. JavaScript does for me. So now if I do this, console.log event, let's watch what happens. So let's refresh. And see, now you have this thing here. Basically gives you all the details about the actual event. So it tells you that, you know, where did you click, so you can get that information there. It tells you all sorts of really a lot of coordinate information. Looking for some more useful stuff. The type of event tells you, so it's a click event, so we know it's a click event. Oh wait, I don't want to go there. The target tells you the target element. So here we go, we can see the target element and all the information about the target element. Okay, and there's a lot of stuff that's on the target object. Form, action, name, value, bunch of functions as well. Inner, outer text, and then here's all those different event listeners on that particular. So you can see there's a lot of different events. Anything that has the word on is an event. So on all this stuff. You can find all sorts of really useful stuff in here. Local, tag name, class list. It's all your DOM stuff. First child, node. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, that's just more information about the event. But the point is that that's there. Okay. Now, let's see here. Back to here. Now, console.log event. Now, let's say I just wanted the console log the target. So target, save. Okay, so click me. Go, let me refresh. And now I'm just console logging. See, it just console logs the actual button. Click me. Cool. That works. And that's neat. That's useful to know. There's a couple cool functions that are in that target. Like there's a function called stop propagating. Something like that. And what that's going to do is that, like, let's say you had multiple elements on top of each other. So technically when you're clicking on it, you would be clicking on multiple elements. You can prevent what's called bubbling. So that way you don't trigger like 5 events on 5 different elements because you clicked in the right spot. But I'm not going to quite get into bubbling and event bubbling in this particular video. Okay. But essentially that's how you would assign an event using plain vanilla. Now let's also talk about Jquery. Okay. So what if I wanted to do the same thing but using Jquery? Okay, well then I need to go get the button. So dot this button. That will grab the button. And then what I want to do is add the on. This on function is basically what adds the event handler, and it's on click and my handler. Okay, and you can see that's a lot shorter than before. Very nice. Save. Okay. Now what I'd like to do is make it where if you click on the button, it removes itself. So let's try this. Event dot target. So that gets the element. I wonder if I could chain the jQuery function remove off of that. Let's see what happens. So that means theoretically if I click on the button, it should disappear. I'm not sure if that's going to work, but we'll give it a shot. And it works. Okay, so basically that allowed, you can chain the jQuery options because the target will be a, and actually let's test that out. Because again, jQuery is going to package up your DOM elements in a slightly different style. So I wonder if it shows you the jQuery version versus the just normal HTML DOM version if we take a look at the target. So let's console log the target. Console.log. And again, this doesn't have to be called event. This is going to be called whatever I pass in as my parameter placeholder thing here. It's just event, or E is the traditional one because it's supposed to be in a handler, and this is in an object that gets generated during the event. So it's always nice to have your variable names kind of match what's going on. So let me refresh. Oh, I got some syntax errors. So that's over here. I got an extra. Oh, yeah. I don't need a semicolon there. Save. Okay. Refresh. If I click this. Okay. And yeah, it still just basically console logs the button, but jQuery knows when I chain off of it to get the right element. So that's neat. Or I could do something like this. I could change the CSS of the element. So we'll say dot CSS